I'm not live. I don't know. If
I've been
that's
live for about like 15 minutes. No, I'm just kidding.
Bro.
You're a damn lie,
Bruh.
bro. I would have left. I would have left so fast.
Bruh.
Yo, this is 71, right? I put 72.
71, yeah. Everybody, welcome to the Usual Tuesday podcast. I am Korpsx, korpscollection.com, joined by the wonderful, powerful, lovely, and charming 0% and Save One of Save Oneer Gaming. Gentlemen, another week in the books.
What? This isn't the end.
No, the last week came to an end.
That's true. I guess that's true. I'm sorry, guys, if I'm tired. I got like weird sleep. Joe Rogan. Did you guys listen to that episode?
Yes.
I just finished it today, actually.
I saw it drop and I was like, no fucking way.
The same guy who said he wouldn't do it.
The dude who said, I would never do it. I would never do it. I don't want to support either side. Boom. Fucking drops 10 days before the election or something.
I love it.
It was a matter of time.
He even said he wanted Kamala to be on there. So
Sick, bro.
He actually did a whole tweet talking about that when he's talked to her campaign people and that they just have a list of demands that he's just like not down for. Like, gotta go to her, only get an hour. And it's like, he's like, no, you come to the studio in Austin.
Scored by the stewed, Kamala.
Yeah, come on, whip out that studio. You gotta whip out that spoon, whip out that studio. What is you scared of? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Shit, get that Secret Service limo in.
listen to me, listen, and just
Drop some cigars.
hear me and hear me good, motherfuckers. She will show up late to an hour-long podcast. No,
Who gives a fuck, bro?
no, you show up late, even if you're 15 minutes.
Okay,
late.
maybe not.
You shake hands, you sit down, you warm up a little bit. That's 30 minutes down. Now you only have 30 minutes left of this podcast. And that's everything that Joe Rogan doesn't want to be and doesn't want to do.
No, Kamala gotta block out the bro. You have to block out the time. Like, this is, bro. The Trump.
That's what one of my boys
numbers.
was saying was that she did Shannon Sharp, right? But Shannon Sharp has like 19 million followers or something like that, and
He's no Joe Rogan.
And Joe Rogan has like 300 million followers. Like,
no Joe Rogan.
Wait, like
huge difference.
Like, are we talking about across the board? Because Joe Rogan does not have 300 million.
Or whatever, 30 million to 9 million. I don't. Let me see. What's the
I
difference?
think Joe Rogan. No, I think Joe Rogan has like 7 million subscriers.
Bro, just look at his total monthly listeners.
Oh, he has 18 million. Oh shit. No. Don't get me wrong. He has a lot of although
the Trump and Joe Rogan thing has 39 million fucking views already, and Shannon Sharp and Kamala has 1.1.
yeah, bro. No, it is crazy to see it happen was wild. Because yeah, I just never thought he would do it.
Well, he said he wouldn't do it. He
said,
said,
yeah,
I will not have Trump on my podcast.
Yeah, exactly. He said he wouldn't do it. Listen, I just want to say really quick, I've never heard such stupidity. Not even stupidity, just like, what the fuck are we talking about right now, bro? What are you on about? Like, put the prize in the bag. Yes, bro. That podcast was
Are you
hard
serious?
to fucking listen to. I listened to the
Hell
whole
nah,
thing.
bro. I love that shit.
I don't know why, bro.
It humanized Trump. It wasn't an interview. It wasn't about policies. It wasn't about presidency.
I didn't care about policies. I was trying to listen to like his thoughts on shit, and I was like, I like would never talk to you, bro. I would never fucking talk to you. You're just like the worst person. Like, I can't. You're just saying too much of nothing, like all the time.
That's wild.
And that's him as a human being.
Opposite.
Like divorce of economic policy, whatever policy, all that bullshit, whatever comments he's made in the past. I'm like, bro, you're fucking annoying.
Do you think that maybe you just have a stigma on the type of people that go on Joe Rogan? That have lengthy, in-depth conversations, and I mean, we all know the dude is a horrible speaker.
Trump, or what do you mean?
Yeah, Trump.
I think
that's what we're talking about.
No, but like, what do you mean? I have a stigma against like people who.
No, I said you have a stigma already placed in your head on how Joe Rogan episodes go.
No, I have a stigma in my head about how regular ass conversations go. Like
I was 70-year-old people.
I've talked to 70-year-olds. What? Absolutely, they're coherent. They're fine. And not that he wasn't forming sentences that like on its surface made sense, but like also had nothing to do with whatever Joe just asked. Because even Joe Rogan in a later clip that I saw either the next day or whatever, Joe Rogan was like, yeah, I had initially asked him like how it felt to be in the White House, and I don't think I ever really got that answer. I'm like, yeah, bro, you fucking did it because he walked all
I knew that was going to be the question that you were going to bring up, but that could be a very easily
literally
misconstrued. Bro, what Joe Rogan was asking is, what was the first thing that you like? How did you feel when you got into the White House? Like, were you like, holy shit, I'm here? Oh, this is the first thing that I'm about to do getting here. But he didn't answer that because he was talking about how he felt when he saw the Lincoln bedroom.
Yeah.
How like he did answer the question.
No, bro, he got asked it multiple times, and also clarified like, how did it feel? Did it feel surreal? He's like, no, it didn't feel surreal. And then he like started talking about the bullet that he took. I'm like,
yeah, he said it didn't feel surreal as like I was more in it when I fucking got shot than I was when I was in the fucking White House. He answers the question.
No, he doesn't though. He doesn't. Not even satisfied.
What I took from that, because even I was kind of like, I don't think he's understanding the question, right? And so when Joe even kind of pounded down on it, it was like, oh. Right. And when he made the whole thing of like, oh, this was surreal, but this wasn't. So it was like, so to me, what I'm hearing is the job was the job. And that was cool for him. That was like, oh, appoint 10,000 people. Cool, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Is it kind of flabbergasting? Sure. But hey, we've hired people before. And he even kind of spoke. It was funny a little bit earlier before that. He was even speaking about how like, I didn't know who to pick. I had to listen to people and I made some bad choices.
I never did this before. And
like, and these guys are telling me to pick them and this, and I have to make these 10,000 appointments. You know, it's day one and I'm over here standing in the Lincoln bedroom like, holy fuck. Like, you know, like, whoa. And to me, that was kind of flabbergasting because I was like, that's what you took on day one. It was being there in the moment. Like, that's what you took. Cool. Like, I appreciate that. I appreciate the aesthetic, but not like, I think it's a weird credit to Obama in the State of the Union at the time where it wasn't frantic. You know what I mean? The last like 2 to 3 years, like, sure, there's the controversies and I don't really want to get into all of that, but relatively things was pretty chill at the end of Obama. You know what I mean? Like at the end of Obama, things was really, really chill. And so, yeah, you can take a moment to kind of soak in the, like, damn, I'm in the White House, like I'm in the West Wing or I'm in the Oval, like, you know what I mean? And I thought that was cool that was the first thing he took, but I just thought it was a fucking shot out way to explain it at all. Like, or even if that.
Oh, and even like talking about like Lincoln's son, how the picture of his son is in there, like, bro, it humanized the fuck out of Trump. Like,
I'd say like he even said the whole thing about like, oh, it's the weave. And I'm like, dog, but your weave ain't weaving no more. Like,
no, but also, yeah, because even Joe even said like in the weave, as he likes to call it, he was like, you're casting a wide ass net. Like, you need to dial that shit in.
Yeah, let's bring that back.
Yeah, like bring it back, bro. Because a couple things I noticed. And sorry, if you guys want to move away from this, we can.
Because it was really good, and I just finished it today.
It was big, and I was like, this. And I thought, legitimately, I was like, maybe all of the media that I've consumed of him is very much just like clipped and changed and like made to look a certain way. And maybe this dude is like very coherent, very well spoken, whatever. I just didn't get that. I didn't get that from this episode.
Ooh, I would say that he was recalling memories, right? That were pretty spot on, right? Some of the boxing matches and stuff that they were talking about.
Yeah,
And
fights. Yeah, sure.
I think, well, right. What does he really have to fucking go off of? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this dude's been going to events his whole life besides the presidency. Like, you know, he was a business owner, fucking billionaire, fucking socialite. He's going to remember boxing matches, right?
Sure, yeah.
What I took out of it, he stumbled the hardest when it got to him talking about tariffs and eliminating income tax. He could sit there and go on and get into the explanation of how previously some of them were good, right? But I just don't think the eliminating income tax and replacing it with tariffs is a stamped, you know, plan for his cabinet, his future cabinet. But I think that is an idea that they're throwing around, and I don't think he was ready for that. I don't think he was ready for that question. And I think that he did good not talking over Joe. He did bad with the weaves. They were a little weavy, right? But I could see where you're at.
The man has been weaving for the last 8 years. You know what I mean? Like that's been a constant thing. You know what I mean?
He's a little weavy.
Still
there.
a politician.
No, but
He's
it's
still a
not
politician.
it's not even the weave like that I have. The thing is I think the weave is fine if you're going to tie it back to something that has any sort of relevance to the question. But there were so many times where Joe was like, I won't say so many times. There was one time in particular where he was like, I don't even really know what you're talking about right now. I think he was talking about, he had talked about Lincoln, and then I don't know if it was Reagan or somebody else at some point. And then he started talking about a fighter. There was like so many different jumps that Joe was like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know who you're talking about currently. And I was like, yeah, bro, that shit was impossible to fucking follow. What the fuck just happened?
And then I think though, right, like if I'm somebody who's like an avid Joe Rogan fan, right, and I don't really keep up with the media other than JRE, and this is my first time getting to listen to Donald Trump, right, and I'm a future voter. It doesn't hurt him. Didn't make him look any better. For somebody though who's watched Donald Trump in interviews and shit like a lot, I feel like he did good because he didn't talk over Joe, right? He was a little weavy, but he didn't like try to control the conversation. Like, you know what I mean?
I think it did more good than it did bad, and only because of Joe Rogan, because he definitely was like, I can tell you exactly why they're demonizing you. He's like, look at Oprah, look at Whoopi Goldberg, look at when you were on The View, like look at all these ways that the media is trying to flip it to make you look negative.
He called them stupid women. And I was like, yo, dog, like you gotta know that one back. But I think that one just kind of came off the hip because he's talking about like, oh, 1 second they're loving me, the next second, you know, they hate me, stupid women. And it's like, oh, dog, like you just said that on the JRE, bro.
I want to touch on two things actually that you guys mentioned too. One, to Save's point, I think Joe Rogan did make him look better, but it's because Joe Rogan carried what didn't make sense out of Trump's mouth and tried to like make sense of it on the spot. I think he did that there was a phrase that Joe had asked and Trump didn't answer what it was exactly. Like, I think it was like a spiff or like something like that. And Joe was like, what, like you say spiff, you said spiff like just 2 times right there. Like, what does that mean? And then he started saying something vaguely kind of around something. And then Joe was like, oh, it means somebody who's unreliable or somebody XYZ, whatever the case may have been. And then he's like, yeah, exactly. And then started going off on another thing.
Oh, that he was I knew the word. I knew the word that he was saying. I didn't know what the word was, but he was a fucking, not a spook, fucking
spook? No way you just said that on the internet.
I said spiff.
No. Korpsx just said spook.
I know. He said spook.
I remember, and I was like, dude, I know that word. I know that word, but he was talking about like one of the appointees or something, somebody that he ended up appointing. Yeah,
sure, yeah. And then, and I don't think I hold it against people who like hire somebody and then that person like turns their back on them and shit talks them. I don't necessarily hold them to like, oh, you should have known before hiring them. Like, to be fair, people flip on a dime, like whatever. Because I think he's gotten a lot of ridicule about people who he has hired and stuff like that. And I think in the podcast he even like kind of trash talks some of them.
Well, he admitted that he was wrong too. He was like, I hired people I probably shouldn't have hired. They suck.
Yeah, I think that's cool. I think that's fair. We're all human. The fuck, nobody's gonna make perfect decisions. But what was the second part? Oh, I wanted to say too. I think it's so. Now I have one more thing. Cut me off whenever you want. It's crazy how like the bar for Trump's interview to be good is that he doesn't talk over Joe, and then I forgot what your second thing was. Putch.
Oh, that he wasn't trying to control the conversation.
That he wasn't trying to control the conversation. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That's just like, I don't know. I'm thinking of it maybe a little bit differently because not that I wanted it to be a full-on interview and wanted it to be a what is your views on XYZ. It was a conversation. I wanted to take that in as it was, but like, bro, I just didn't like it. I guess I don't know.
I just think you just have such a negative view.
Did you watch Did you watch the Putin interview with Tucker Carlson?
No.
Okay, so I think there is a certain level of cringy that comes off these men when they speak, and it's just solely because they are powerful. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't doubt that, like, especially Vladimir, right? In his opening statements with Tuck, right, was this huge, bro. You want to talk about a weave? He talked about Ukrainian history for the first 30 minutes, and Tucker was like, "Well, let's get back to the point.
Oh, yeah,
like, what are we like? I'm really sorry. Like, and like even because like there was times when I was watching, I was like, oh, Vladimir is taking control of this conversation. Like, he is in full control. No one else is going to speak until he's ready to stop talking. Like Tony Robbins is like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like when I've seen him on pods, I feel like he becomes the host after 20 minutes in, you know what I mean? And he's asking questions and he's kind of controlling everything. And so for me, like when I'm watching him and knowing his antics, I'm just thinking like he didn't hurt himself with this podcast, which I feel like that was more of the underlining reasons why Joe Rogan didn't want to have him on, was because he didn't want him to like embarrass himself on the show.
I think he also thought the same things that what you said. Like, I thought he's gonna, talk over him majority of the time and fucking, be extremely weavy, and all. Like, I think he took a lot of that into consideration. But what I think happened is that they had a conversation prior to it, and then he was kind of like, "Oh, this guy's maybe not half that bad, so let's have him on."
And dude, I watched the Fight Companion show that Joe Rogan did right after. And he was even talking about a little bit how he's like, it's kind of hard. He's like, how do you tell a guy like, hey man, dial it back? Like, how do you tell a man like him to do that when he's in the middle of a rant? And I was thinking like, dude, you did such a good job though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan. A former president, Dick. Like, you get what I'm saying? And so for me, I'm like, Kamala, what's the worst that can happen? Like, if you're going to lose,
she'll make herself look dumb. Bro, you want to hear somebody that sounds?
No shot, bro. There's no way you're telling me that I have a bias when I'm like,
no. I'm not biased, and I even agree with Joe. Like, I would just sit here and have a conversation with her and this and that. But the thing is, she is so heavy in the politics that she won't tell a normal story. She'll try and figure out a way to make it political.
We don't even need an example, but neither did Trump. Like, Trump did not that he made it political. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he didn't say almost anything in that interview.
I think that it's crazy that you think that because I think that he said a good amount.
Did you tell me what he said? Like what question?
Absolutely,
He answered,
I
about
literally just told you with the Lincoln Room, bro. Like it shows how much he cares about his family and his kids and about history that he went into that room and it was in so much awe that he pointed out little things like that. Like that's a human experience. That's a fatherly experience.
I think it's off.
When he was saying that
question though, that was not the question.
What was you? The question that you just asked me, or that he was answering?
The question that he was asked.
That is how he took it. What did you think the first time you stepped in the White House?
After that story, he was asked
but I'm not,
again.
Okay, but that's not what you. But that's not what you just asked me. What you just asked me is explain to you something that made him not political and human-like. That I took from that, and I just explained that to you. No,
I asked.
He misunderstood the
questions he answered, or what did he say at all?
In saying that he made mistakes with that and the mistakes with the pointing.
The mistakes that he made, that does he think that there's aliens?
Off-brand. It's off-brand, and it might hurt him. It might hurt
from the view. Exactly, bro. He answered a lot of questions. Tell me another question he didn't answer.
He didn't answer. What didn't he answer? He answered. He
had an issue with the tariffs.
He had an issue with the tariffs.
He didn't not answer the question because even when Joe said, "So you're talking about taking away income tax to add tariffs," and he said, "Yes, why not?" and he went into the explanation of it. He answered the question.
He said he's gonna tax the hell out of China. Or sorry, tariff the.
And then Joe even asked him, "Well, when the tariffs were in place when you were in office, what do you think was good about it?" And he answered that question.
Mm-hmm. But that's also, at least now, I could be wrong, but I've heard a lot around the internet that exactly the way that Trump is describing tariffs, and I'm not an economist, so I don't know, but exactly the way that Trump is describing tariffs aren't how they work.
Yeah, because probably a lot of people are seeing the fucking Mark Cuban clip that's going around everywhere because he was on Andrew Schultz's podcast, I think, where he's like, okay, well, let's say that this good cost $1, and I'm gonna put a 10% tariff on China, and then now they charge me $1.10. So Walmart buys it, and they charge $1.10 for it. They're charging you for it, but that's not the reason that tariffs are being put into place. The reason that tariffs are being put into place is because Walmart doesn't want to buy it for $1.10, right? So they're gonna look for a manufacturer here in the United States that still sells it for $1.
But that
instead of paying the other country 10%, 20%, 50%, they're either gonna find somebody here that can make it for less, or they're gonna find somebody here so the money comes back into our economy instead of somebody else's economy.
You wouldn't imagine that they would just they wouldn't eat that cost though. That is true. Like businesses are made to make money. They would never eat that cost. No, they wouldn't.
Correct. So guess what? One or two things is gonna happen. Exactly. One or two things is going to happen. They're either going to eat the cost.
No, they're not.
To keep the good on the store shelf, or they're just no longer going to have that good anymore. And if they no longer have that good anymore, then supply and demand goes through the roof. And what's going to happen is they're going to have to pay more for the shit that we make here, so that the money goes back into our economy. That's how a tariff works.
The tariffs part is not even the issue. I think really at hand that he's going to have the big issues that he's going to have on hand is his environmental issues, right? Like he's wanting to dig in Alaska and some of the other states, which like let's go one or two routes on that topic. There is a big push for climate change that we know is just not true. Like it's just not, right? There's a level of it. Yes, you have to fix emissions. We should not be polluting and having mile long islands of fucking waste out in the fucking oceans, right? So when he's talking about, yes, drilling for oil, that's great and everything, but when you're destroying the environment or you're putting it at risk, that's wild, right? And they're willing to do that with oil, but then when he's asked about nuclear, he's kind of weird about nuclear and wants less regulations on it. And it's like, no, motherfucker. Matter of fact, we should have stronger regulations on nuclear, because if that shit spills over, that land is fucked for forever. and where are we going to put that? Like, where are we going to put that reactor at? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's, to me, if they were going to spin that whole interview for the super left wing fucking pink haired motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? That right there is, I don't think, is the bridge they could cross. Right, I think anyone would enjoy no income tax.
Yeah, but that
You know?
in my opinion, all that shit that Trump was saying about the energy thing, like we know that it's not viable, and that's why he has a team of people that are gonna be like, listen, we can't do this. I would like to see how many things in when he was in office, he was like, hey, let's do this, and people were like, we can't do that. Like it doesn't work like that. And he's like, okay, because you got to think the motherfucker is a businessman, right? He's a businessman first over anything. And what do businessmen do? They constantly come up with ideas like this, bum, 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 and they fail a lot, and they fail a lot, and then boom, something hits, right? like I was watching something about this guy, and he was asked why does he gamble, and he was like, well, I gamble because everything is about percentages. Like there's a certain percentage of how much I'm going to succeed in this. And business people only succeed with 0.01% of their businesses, and that becomes successful. So the guy just spitting out all these fucking ideas. Like we're talking about the same motherfucker that said to put Lysol in the stuff that they make in Lysol in your veins. You know what I mean? Like obviously the dude, like the dude is like he's all over the place.
You
know what I mean?
He's not all there, which I would agree with.
No. I was gonna say he's not the smartest guy in the world.
He's a
like
fucking psycho for sure.
But you got to remember who he is first. You know what I mean? Like he is a business person that just and a successful business person at that. I mean, the dude, bro. Every rapper wanted to make Donald Trump money. Like he was an idol for all these rappers and shit like that. You know what I mean? So for him to be spewing out these types of things, like it sounds far fetched, but you have to remember who he is first. You know what I mean? Like that's the way I look at it.
Well,
and back to the Kamala thing. Hold on for a second, because I'm not being biased against her. I just think that, like I was saying, no, she would, because even Joe Rogan said, like, you're basically a stand-up comedian. Your timing is on point. Like you just say whatever the fuck you want to say. And even when he was on the show, he said, this is probably going to get me in trouble, but I don't care. Right? Like he doesn't care about the light that he's being shown in, because he knows what he provides. He knows what he can do, and he knows who he's going against. Whereas on the other hand, I think Kamala would be like, try and make everything political because of the light that she's in.
I just
like it wouldn't be a down to earth real conversation, in my opinion. And Joe would try and make it as much as he can, but I don't think that it would be a real down to earth conversation.
I don't think you can even give him the credit of him saying I don't care, because I feel like there's such a difference between like I don't care because I'm being like as truthful to my message as I can be, versus I don't care because like who's gonna check me.
Do you hold on? I wanna know this.
Wait, who are you talking to?
I want to ask this about Zero, because I don't think that I'm biased, right?
Okay.
I think you are slightly. I think you are slightly on these two candidates. I think you may be slightly biased.
I have never said anything damning about that woman lately, but
you definitely showed all of the internet where you're going on Saturday to vote and who you're going to vote for.
Listen, all I want to know, do you think that she could last 3 hours on a podcast with Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
You think so?
And for the record, I haven't seen the Shannon Sharp episode yet, so I have nothing to go off of.
I do think so. And I think she would do better in a conversation than Trump did.
How many?
Wait. Let me time out, because I want to ask a question based off of what he just said.
Sure.
Just real quick. You think that he would do better? She would do better in a conversation as far as like staying on topic,
back and forth, topic wise, answering the questions.
My dearest friend. Let me tell you something about.
I don't think you've watched enough Joe Rogan.
Hold on. Let me tell you something about how you are confused, right? For the last 4 years, she has been hiding. She has been nowhere to be found.
That has nothing to do with her conversation.
That has everything to do. No, it has everything to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
Because
have you ever seen her have a conversation?
Any speaking event, any speaking engagement that she has done, there has been a teleprompter, right? I will tell you this. I will give you this. Her and her campaign team, right? They have her talking points, and she has those down. That's why you ask her about the economy. Well, I come from a middle class. I used to work at McDonald's.
Oh my
God!
Right,
and you have a 15-minute rant about how this and that, how she's from Black America and blah 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 blah, and she worked at a McDonald's, that boom boom boom, and she went to college and had to work. You have a 15-minute rant, right? The weave, right? She has 4 topics. About that. Okay, cool. What is 4 times 15? That is an hour. Okay. She asked Joe Rogan for an hour. She does not have 3 hours in her. We all know bro, watch Breaking Points, right? Listen to Breaking Points. Any political pundits know she is not off the cuff. She can't do it. She gets into some weird gags. She starts cackling, and she gets fritzy, and it's just no bueno.
But that's what I'm saying. Like out of this political sphere that she's in right now, I think that she's very capable of going on interviews and being able to sit down and have a conversation. I'm not taking that away from her. But right now, where she is right now in this political space, it's not possible. Yes, there will be a conversation back and forth, but like I said, everything will revolve around some type of political view that she's going to go into, also a rant to try and get the vote. Where I don't think that's what Trump was doing, because he.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
We're judging her based off of her performance in arenas that aren't a podcast, that are very much, this is how much time you have, these are the talking points you have.
No, not even. I'm basing it off of interviews on television as well.
Those are but if we're gonna sit here and pretend like they're not, this is your allotted time, this is what they're gonna talk about, these are the questions that are gonna be asked. Like, we can't sit here and pretend like these shows that are going to run commercials, that have time slots, that XYZ aren't going to be curated. They absolutely are, but that's not what we're talking about here. So we haven't seen her in an arena where that's not the case.
Well,
we've seen her on Shannon Sharp's
podcast. Got busted up. She got busted up for the Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes podcast, where she, put on another fake fucking accent, and
she's been on other podcasts.
She was on the Hawk Tua Girls. She was on the Hawk Tua Girls.
Oh yeah, she was on the Hawk Tua Girls podcast, bro.
Yeah.
That's not
and she even asked Kai Cenat to be on his podcast, and he
I
turned
saw
her
a
down.
clip of this. Is that? I don't even think it was revealed that in the clip that I saw. I didn't see if it was Kai Cenat.
Yeah, it was Kai Cenat. He said it on stream.
Oh
yeah.
It was after Trump went on Aiden Ross's podcast.
See, but that's the thing, bro. Is like Aiden Ross and them really
fucking. Wait. So go back. So go back to what Zero was just saying.
No,
is she ducking? Is she sitting out here being able to have normal, regular conversations? I'm telling you, go watch the clips.
I will. I'll go watch the full podcast of Kamala, and I'll judge it fairly. If she's on some dumb shit,
but that's the thing, bro. That's the thing is, you're basing it off of the train of thought and back and forth conversation. I'm talking about this. Hold on. I'm talking about the substance of the conversation is what I'm talking about. That's why I said this podcast was good for Trump, because it humanized Trump. It wasn't a political.
But I don't think he's ever been like
conversation.
But I don't even think he needed humanizing. He's not your cookie cutter political pundit. That's not what he
did need humanizing. No, I think he did need humanizing, because everybody's looking at him as this convicted felon now who has all these fucking.
But he is. I mean, sorry if you're a convicted felon, bro.
But that's what I'm saying is that's what Kamala's team is running with, and that, bro. Let me ask you a question, okay? Let me ask you a question. Until the Shannon Sharp podcast, that Kamala was just on, everybody was like, Daddy Trump gave us our stimulus checks, right? And then she says, oh, that was Congress that gave you the stimulus checks, not Donald Trump. And then Barack Obama comes out after and doubles down on it and was like, yeah, that was Congress that did that. Why are we waiting till right now to give out that type of information?
I mean,
I'm just saying.
It's all a war in words, right?
And who was in office?
The time to do that.
Who was in office? Who signed the checks? I'm just saying, like, anybody would take advantage of signing those checks, right?
Barack Obama needs to go have a seat. He is doing her no justice. And then Joe Biden just posted a clip right now trying to talk about Tony Hinchcliffe at the rally. And it's like, dog, you guys all need to like
cringe, bro.
I will say this though. I will say this though. Trump's rally with the Puerto Rico
actually
comments.
I'm so interested in what you guys think on that.
I thought that shit was funny.
Listen.
I knew you guys were gonna say comedy's comedy, bro.
No. Hold on. Comedy is comedy, and there's a time and place for comedians.
What?
That was not one of them,
agree.
Especially not where you were. How are you gonna have a rally in New York? In New York, where the Puerto Rican population is high as shit. Now, granted, I thought what he said was hilarious. I thought it was funny as fuck. But there is that is not that's not where you do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, not in a political run. Like, you can have jokes, but he should not have been up there endorsing Trump at that time, at that place. You know what I mean? Like bad. That. I thought it was hilarious what he was saying. That shit was funny as fuck.
Because it was like, I'm not trying to be like, bro, that's so offensive. Like, fuck all that, bro. But it was funny. But it was like, oof, not like, with the Trump banner right underneath you, bro. That is not the clip. Nobody clipped that. Nobody clipped that, bro.
No, that's good. That got clipped. And the thing is, too, is Hinchcliffe has a thing. Like on the show, like, because I watch Kill Tony all the fucking time, bro, and he has like so many about like Puerto Ricans and this and that, and it's just fucking funny, bro.
Yeah, but Kill Tony is fucking hilarious.
That's a show,
like
not
it's a show, like, and you know what you're about to get into when you go to those shows. Like, nothing is off the table. Those guys are gonna go off the rails, talk about fucking dead people and. Putting rocks in your pocket is retarded. Like all that, bro. They go off the rails. Like, have you seen the whole Dr. Phil segment? Have you seen the whole Trump versus Biden segment? Like, it's hilarious. But you don't like. That was it was extremely wrong. I think it speaks wrong place.
I think it speaks most to something that they are doing right, because like look at all the people that he ended up bringing up there. Right, he brought Dr. Phil up. Did you guys see that?
Oh, I didn't see. No, I didn't watch the rally. I just saw that that clip, 4-minute video, and I was like,
of course, it's Tony Hinchcliffe, bro, the fucking gay comedian, and I think it's.
But of course it is. Like, of course it is that clip.
Of course, Tony Hinchcliffe, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? The dude who's a comedian, who's a roaster, who does all this dumb shit. Right, like after a guy like Dr. Phil, who's had this long-running fucking show of helping children, like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's just fun. To me, right, Tony's going to get his slack and all this shit, and I think it's a fun joke. Is it a bad time, bad place? Sure, but right now they're big on this whole like free speech. Say whatever you want, man, as long as you're not hurting nobody. Like, you know what I mean? As long as you're not screaming fire in the theater, you're fine. You know what I'm saying? And if they can get that to stick, then people will run with it. But I think, it's a bad place, bad time, bro. Like, Tony, that was your one time to kind of like be serious and like show your serious side. But that was not a good moment for him.
Yo,
0. Just for thinking that I was gonna go against.
I genuinely was like, man, Cisco's gonna be like, yo, it's all fucking comedy, bro. Why is everybody?
It is comedy. It is comedy. I didn't say that.
But you're based. I agree. Yeah. I'm like, bro, this is not your event. You have to be conscious of who you're speaking for right now. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, like, that's not gonna look good on tomorrow.
I think even like to a certain, like, he had a cutoff point where you're like, you're getting laughs, you're safe here, stop. Cause like he was on a little run where like even when he was like this, or he's like, I welcome everybody like this, and I was like, all right, like that's cool, probably drop it off right there. And he's like, and then he's Puerto Rican. I'm like, no, bro, no.
Oh my god!
But I also think that kind
Oh.
of look he makes Trump a badass because he still had a great rally after that.
Still, yeah, bro. Everybody's had a
Like,
great time.
He knew.
I think, and maybe I'm a little fucking crazy. Is that the
We know that already. What the
is that the podcast? I think with Joe and him saying the things that he said, like, and humanizing himself, I think might be an issue for him later on, because, I mean, let's be for real, right? There is definitely Team Trump amongst the conservatives, like in Congress, like senators and guys and sitting in the seats of the House of Representatives, you know. Now the Democrats all got in line. Like when they looked at Joe and said, "You're out," like these fuckers got in line. Like, you get me? Like they got in line, and whatever political engine is running the show over there, like, you know, they got everybody suited right now. And so my interest is if he loses, right? Like, if this him saying like, "Oh, I made bad choices last time," if that causes everybody to splinter off, right? Like, or whatever, and he loses, like, who's going to be the next Republican?
That's the thing is we don't know, right?
Yeah.
Well,
know.
Tulsi Gabbard just announced herself as a Republican. She just changed party lines. That's why I can't help but vote for the guy, bro. All my favorite people's on his team. Like, I can't not like the team. Like, it's like LeBron James and the Lakers. I don't like LeBron James.
I'm excited. You know what I will say about Trump is that he's made politics entertaining. And I think that's like overall a net positive, because now we have people, and maybe this would have happened naturally, but like,
I just like it.
I didn't think I was ever going to be interested well, maybe that's not true actually, because I watch political streamers and I like that sort of stuff and debate combative.
Hey, your buddy Hassan, huh?
Yeah, bro, I love Hassan. No, actually, to be fair, I don't. I watch Destiny fan here.
I like how politics have became a part of the culture, right? Like, in part of the zeitgeist, to the point where like people are more conscious of their political standings, you know. I hate the demonization of people's political standings, right? Like, why is that? Like, shout out the Angry Capitalist, but we were saying that like on his show was, you know, he goes on a Tinder date. Oh, I don't know if I should say that out loud, but he goes on this date, and he's like, you know, they ask him like, "Oh, what's your political standings?" Like, it was like something political, like, wild. You know, like, oh, like, I think they asked like, "Oh, are you like pro-life or some shit?" Like something crazy, like, oh, like.
You ever ask me that on a first date, bro? I'm walking out.
Bro, no. This is ladies. Listen, I'm gonna save you a lot of time and trouble. Okay, all you say is, "Yo, did you catch that JRE episode?" And then, depending on the then you either get the fuck out of there or stay, depending on how you fucking want to roll with it.
What the fuck you mean get the fuck out of there? You don't think that Korpsx and I are catches?
I think
I'm gonna look at her slow.
Y'all are fucking crazy though. Nah,
I'm gonna look at her real slow, side-eyed, and I'm gonna say, "How do you know those words, and now why do you say them in that order?" Hey,
let me say this. Let me say this though. I think that Trump making this shit more entertaining. I hate it, bro. I absolutely hate it. The debates are different. So many people want to be politicians now. So many people think that just because you believe in one thing means that you're on this side, and you can't, like, you know what I mean? You can't be. I can't be a fucking Republican that believes in pro-choice. You know what I mean? Like, that's bullshit, bro.
But isn't it good though that people are conscious of those things, right? Because like, I feel like a couple years back, bro, people used to say like some things they believed in and would say it out loud and be like, "Oh, dog, like I believe in something that way." Type shit. Like, and you guys are just saying this out loud. Like, what?
No, because I think that majority of people in this world currently, that if you do say that you're Republican or say that you have Republican views, you get damned. Like, you get side-eyed, you get looked at twisted, because that's not what the current narrative of the community, which is the United States, is currently. You know what I mean? Like, because if I say that I'm Republican, then I'm against transgender rights, and I'm against BLM, and I'm against pro-life or pro-choice, and I'm against all this shit. Like, I mean,
like that's what
maybe so, but
it might not be wrong.
But Why am I being like?
But that's
you
not
have to
because I'm a
understand.
Republican.
You're not Republican then. That's because Republicans. That's what they kind of are standing for. Now, I think they
No,
take it
they're
to,
standing for everything. They don't. We Republicans don't. They're not. They don't make these little organizations and like, oh yeah, it's BLM. Like, no, we want to make sure everybody gets treated well. We want to make sure that critical race theory does get taken out of school. We want to make sure that everybody understands that there's equality in the world. Democrats, not so much.
depending on where you're born though. Because if you're born on the wrong side of the line, nah, not you, bro. No?
Interesting.
Am I wrong?
What do you mean? I don't understand what
Are you
you
talking
mean
about
by
like
that statement.
gerrymandering?
I'm just talking about no, not within state lines.
Oh, like country lines.
Yeah, like outside. And not what I'm not saying.
Absolutely.
What I'm not saying is that we should have open borders because I think that's kind of crazy too. Because everybody.
Well, if I'm against open borders, then I'm the devil. Like what?
Yeah.
Fuck you, bro. Like
that's
what?
my problem is people demonize
I agree.
your
That's
standing
stupid.
on something, and it's like, bro, like
That is what I'm saying is bad now. This is the difference within the last 12, 15 years that has changed. Bro, I had somebody tell me one time that they couldn't believe that I was Republican because of where I grew up and because I'm brown. That was the craziest statement that anybody has ever said to me about my political view.
I'd actually probably be more shocked if you were liberal.
Listen, I was also in a six-figure. I was also making six figures and fucking trying to get out of California. You know what I mean? Like
the day Elijah was born, I became a Republican. The day he was born, it grew on me like a werewolf, bro. Like like fucking just like I'm telling you, the moment he was born, because I started to understand progress for the sake of progress is not progress. That is just lunacy. That is running in place, bro. I'm not doing that. I learned that there is things called tradition and things I want to pass down. Like,
and I'll even put it to this point, right? Because this is the big one that everybody's still talking about is when Roe v. Wade got overturned. Because I'm pro-choice. I mean, listen, if you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do, handle it. You got to deal with the consequences in front of God, not me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Type of thing.
Sure.
I don't believe in God, so but when Roe v. Wade got overturned and it went to the states, I thought it was the best thing. And you know why? Because it showed Democrats exactly that they're getting exactly what they wanted in a way that they didn't want.
Mm-hmm.
Because Democrats want everything for the community to come together. And if your state is your community and they vote against abortion, just shows you what your community wants. Just shows you what democracy is. Like, I thought that was incredible. I thought it was incredible. And plus, I don't think that should be a federal thing anyways. So,
I just don't think tax dollars should pay for them. Right? That's my. See, but then it's like, well, then like, I was even talking to angry capitalists about this. Was people can have standpoints, right? Like me, get an abortion, right? But I don't think tax dollars should pay for it, right? Like why? Because I don't believe in them, right? But then at the same time, I don't believe I should tell a woman what the fuck to do with her body, right? I will say a statement like that to somebody in a debate. And then the next statement out their mouth is some crazy situational fucking hypothetical statement of a statistic that is a 0.000125% of any of them that have ever happened in history. And it's like, bro, why are you throwing that at me? Like,
have you guys been watching? I think it's LAD Bible or one of these like pop-up video sites that have been doing like policemen debate 20 people or Ben Shapiro debates 20 people.
Yeah,
or Charlie Kirk
yeah,
debates
yeah,
20
I've seen
people.
those.
Heard of it, but I haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen one.
Bro, these people are absolutely outlandish. It is loud wins, right? And I agree with loud wins sometimes. I'm the loudest motherfucker in here. But it like people just sound so fucking stupid and I agree with some of them because some of them were like, well, I don't have the facts like you have the facts, or I didn't come prepared. Well, then why the fuck are you sitting down trying to argue against something? If you go out
like
and
you prepared,
go out and get the information before, and then guess what? If you go out and get the proper information, you'll probably be sitting on the same side as the other motherfucker that you're trying to debate against.
That's what they don't want, though. But that is, and I don't want to make this sound like this is a uniquely how do I want to say Democrat to Republican type trend. It happens with everyone. Is you get into these debate with these people. First off, you already feel away, right? And let's go with the person. Well, I don't have all the facts, right? So you step to this person not having all the facts, but you have all your feelings. And once you first get that first outburst of words out, like it fizzles out. Like you have that first, and then it fizzles out. And I feel like people.
That's what you were ready to say, bro. That was your attack. That was your base of whatever the fuck.
That was your first flurry. Yeah, and now you got nothing. Now you're gassed out, right? And what I would hope more people do, like how we do on this podcast, right? And no matter how many times we pissed off Damien, he still always has these type of talks with us.
No, I
don't think we've ever pissed him off.
It's like just present.
I think when it comes to these types of things, certain things Damien knows is going to be 2-on-1. Like I think he mentally.
Oh, I know. So I'm like,
he gears up.
I got thinner gloves than you guys, so I can punch harder.
But it's like, dude, just why do we have to be so combative? Instead, just come to the table, be like, hey, bro, you said this about this, and it made me feel away.
Give me 2 seconds.
Like, why don't you can you explain that for me? Like, do you got some facts to back up what you just said? Why? And I think because they think I think there's a small part of people that if they go down that question lining, that they might have their mind changed. And then all this loud noise and all this craziness that they just displayed makes them look like a fucking idiot. And they're like, nah, fuck that, double down. Like, we're about to double down on this wild ass behavior. And that's why they start screaming and people start throwing shit and pushing and fighting and blah, 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 over tariffs, like over,
oh my God.
Over shit that really ain't got nothing to do with us, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we make it about us.
It's the dumbest shit. I how can I say this politely? They got like Dee said, it all comes back to Trump making it entertaining, right? Mm-hmm. And again, that's the thing is like a lot of people like for us, right? If we say on Saturday or Sunday, I'm gonna go vote, and I know who I'm gonna vote for, and then somebody says, "Who are you gonna vote for?" Well, I'm voting for Donald Trump. We automatically get fucking just blazed through. You know what I mean? But
how dare you?
I'm voting for the lesser of two evils, in my opinion. Right? Mm-hmm. 2, I come from business. Of course I want somebody that's gonna help with the business side of things. Do you think I like seeing trillions of dollars being sent to another country? No, I got a kid to raise in this country. And I don't want to go to any other country because this is the greatest country in the world, in my opinion. We have the money to help other countries with trillions of fucking dollars, but we don't. We need the money back here. I don't want my kid paying $9 for a gallon of fucking milk. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I go to the supermarket to buy just shit for peanut, and I'm spending $1.50 easy. You know what I mean? And like, show me a better candidate. Also, the Dodgers are losing their ass.
Fuck, what's the score?
11-4.
Wow.
Damn. Fuck.
It was 4-6, and then I looked down, and it was 10-4, and now it's 11-4.
Shit.
Bottom of the 8th. So
real quick. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Bottom of the 8th. What?
I was just gonna say the Dodgers have one shot to sweep this, and the Yankees have one out with one on.
Mm.
That's unfortunate.
So, sorry to you, Dodger fans.
Listen, bro. Blood runs deep. What am I gonna say?
Shut the fuck up.
Story's a long story.
All I'm saying is I had high hopes for Joe Biden, right? Did I think there was a lot of sneaky shit going on? Whatever. I would love to party with his son,
Yeah.
Hunter, hit up your boy. But I think that 3 months into the presidency, we have this war pop up in Europe, and we're what 60 billion deep. We pulled up that number recently, didn't we? Like, it's like something like $60 billion.
Yeah, did.
It's like 60 billion fucking dollars or some
I don't
crazy shit.
remember.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck it, dog. Just print more money. No. How much we were in debt? How much the country was in debt?
No, champ.
Yeah, print more money, dog. Print more money.
Listen.
Also, sorry, wait, really quick. I just wanted to say, on the whole, I like that Trump made everything more popular. I will agree because it like comes with a double-edged sword. One, I think it's cool that more people are more conscious of just their political standing in general. I do think people, it's unfortunate, but like, I feel like there is a lot of misinformation. And I think what sucks is that when I say that, nobody has a clear line of what that means, because depending on where you stand, you believe in one thing, and then the other side believes in the other. So like both are pointing at shadows, you know what I mean? And like they're different in their own head, you know, if that makes sense. Like if you're on the right, you'll think that the entire mainstream news is going to be against a certain thing, and you know, you have no other way to verify it other than like the random dude on a podcast said otherwise. And this is like an obscure statistic. Not to say that's how everybody gathers their facts, but like there is definitely people who are citing Bill Joe's podcast, 30 viewers, which listen, 30 viewers is 30 viewers, but like,
hey, dog.
can he be the most reliable source? You know what I mean? But they want to point out that like, it's because he's not censored by XYZ. Bro, he's on YouTube. He's on Spotify. Like, if this shit is like going to be censored, it's going to be censored. It's not like he's like the Hail Mary podcast that's going to speak the truth at all costs. And then the same thing on the other side where it's like, I don't know.
Hey, don't talk that way about the Bill and Joe podcast, bro. Those guys are doing things out here with their 30 fucking views.
Hey, they're trying. Okay.
Yo, sub up to the Bill and Joe podcast. My bad. I wasn't trying to call y'all out.
Wait, but I think we've done 70 episodes of this. 70. 71 this is, I think, right? 71 or 72?
71.
And you still have not said what side you're on.
I'm Democratic. I'm Kamala. That's who I'm voting for.
Team Kamala.
Just because, like you said, I think she's just the lesser of the two evils.
But can you explain to me why? Or how about, can you explain to Korpsx and I why you believe that she's
I think
the
she
lesser
could
of the evil?
answer a question better. I would like my...
So answering questions makes you a good person.
Wait, hold on. I think overall, being a coherent human being makes you a better leader. Yes, I do think that. I think she has... Overall, I think being able to... Like, because the answer in the question is kind of... Not the basis of why I'm voting for her, but... being able to describe exactly what you're talking about in general is like pretty good. I think for the most part, Trump just relays like tariffs every time he wants to talk about anything that he's doing in the office, which a lot of people have issues
does he
with.
really? He doesn't talk about immigration laws. He doesn't.
What does he talk about doing in immigration? And didn't he blocked an immigration thing that Kamala was trying, or maybe not Kamala,
No,
but
he didn't. They talked about that on the Joe Rogan podcast.
They
Did you not listen? To
bro,
the
they
podcast?
definitely did.
How does he block something when he's not in office or holding
No,
office?
it was. They try to say
when he was in office.
when he was in office,
Yeah.
he said that they tried to block something, but it was something that Obama had originally started,
What?
where it was like giving amnesty to certain immigrants or some shit like that, and he said that it was already too far gone, and it wasn't just him that said that. It was his team that also said there's no point in signing this because nothing's gonna change. So fact check, brother.
I mean,
you heard
like
from the
what-
horse's
like
mouth.
where are you getting this from? Like the Joe Rogan podcast?
It
Like,
came-
of course they're gonna say that,
it
bro.
came
He's
from
on
his
the
mouth.
podcast.
It came from his mouth.
Yeah, but like where else are we?
No,
seeing
there
it?
was another bill that had came around.
Where are you? Wait. Where did you get it from? From Kamala's rally? Like I could do the same thing.
No,
to
I've
you.
got
What the fuck?
I've gotten it from like
Another
podcast.
podcast.
For the most part, I've gotten it from Destiny's stream, but I feel like Destiny's pretty reliable.
Oh, and
Somebody-
Donald Trump saying it out of his mouth that he didn't sign that. He literally admitted to not signing it because of the amnesty that it was going to give immigrants already, and that it was too far gone. It wasn't going to make a difference.
I'd have to read more into it.
But he
I have, like,
definitely,
firsthand
and
knowledge,
then after that, said I built 574 miles worth of wall. And guess what? It wasn't
Wasn't it
didn't
like
Kamala the one who said, "Well, I haven't been to the border, so what the fuck?"
Yeah,
Anyways,
no,
was
they
it
were
like on a
talking
debate or something?
about. They were talking
no, she said
about.
it in an interview. They were like, "Oh, you never even been to Russia or some shit like that," and she was like, "Oh, or no, you never even been to the border," and she was like, "I've been to the border," and then he was like, "But you haven't been to the border," and she was like, "Well, I haven't been to Europe."
What?
Like you never seen that clip where she's trying to make a point about the border and that she's
No.
been to the border plenty of times to see what needs to be fixed for immigrants to not cross over? You never seen that clip? Corpse, do you
No.
know what clip I'm talking about?
No,
I don't know if she was
I'm sorry. I was
Anderson
looking up.
Cooper.
I was looking up. The last time they put through a bill, they tried to push through a bill, the U.S. Citizenship Act, was the 118th Congress, which was in 2023, 2024. Yeah, that's the one. I guess they're trying to say that Trump blocked. I don't. My problem is with things like, especially immigration, right? They try to pack too much into one bill.
I
Like,
think that's fucking stupid too. I will say, like, the creation of bills and how people are like, oh, let's like sneak in here so that way like we could all get our shit, or like that we can get our shit. That shit is fucking cringe, bro.
well,
Pass
the
a bill, it's gonna
super
be good.
PACs, the super PAC groups, and all these fucking lobbyists, they like, that's another thing that I hope that we really take a look at as our government is like these lobbyist groups. They work both sides of the party line. So they get a couple guys that pull a couple punches, you know what I mean, or throw a couple votes a certain way, and everyone gets a couple bucks around Christmas time. They get the extra big Christmas tree. So, or the unlimited fucking Disney pass. Disney, holla at your boy.
Bro, this podcast is not the podcast of holler at
Wait.
Disney, bro.
So do you think that
They're
do you
not
think,
fucking listening, bro.
you don't think immigration is an issue?
I don't think Trump thinks immigration is an issue. But also,
you don't wait. You don't think that Trump thinks that immigration is an issue?
well, to answer your question, I don't know enough about it, but I would probably say not really.
Okay, let me ask you a different question. Do you wait? I want you to answer the Trump question first. What you just said.
Okay,
You
what's
just
up?
said you don't think Trump thinks immigration is an issue.
No. I don't
The
think
guy who built his whole fucking premise off build the wall.
that
You don't
guy.
think that immigration is?
I
An
feel
issue
like
for him?
there's definitely better ways, like more manpower, better ability within trainings for people like CBP and like Border Patrol in general. I think that could have been way better utilized in building a very expensive wall that still didn't get finished in his term and probably won't get finished even if he gets elected again. There's probably better ways to do it than the way that a big ass wall. Like I'm pretty sure that's true.
And you think Kamala is going to figure that out?
I don't think her campaign's running on that, but I don't think she would figure that out either. No, like I don't think it's a one-term thing. Like it's a multi-year thing.
But I'm asking you if it's an issue, and you said you don't think that it's an issue.
I don't think it's that big of an issue. No.
But statistically, it's been an issue over the last 4 years more than it has so in the last 10 years, right?
In the last, say that again, 4 years.
4 years. In the
10
last
years?
4 years, immigration has been more of an issue statistically than it has been in the last 10.
What does that mean statistically? Like more people are coming over, or more crimes happening
Illegally.
because
Correct.
of?
All of the above.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I couldn't say.
Would
you have
from
a percentage?
Statista.com, inflation being the top 25% of issues for voters in the United States as of July of 2024. So this was a few months ago. It's inflation, prices, immigration, and then health care in the top three.
Okay, so let's go with inflation then. Do you think that inflation has been an issue over the last 4 years as more than it was in the last 8?
Yes. From my understanding, though, we're still under Trump's tax code. From my understanding,
Do you think only taxes brings inflation?
No, that's not what I said.
What?
But that's definitely
Say that's what you said. I asked you a question.
But that is definitely a contributing factor. No, well, what do you mean? You just asked me if that's all I think that is inflationary, but that's not what I said.
But that was my question. My question was, do you think that's the only thing that causes inflation?
No, your question was if inflation was worse over the last.
And you said from what
I said no. I said yes.
He's very political right now.
No. I said no. I answered the question. I said yes, but from what I understand, we're still under Trump's tax code.
No.
And then my question to you was, do you believe that taxes?
No, what you said was. So you think taxes are the only thing that causes inflation? And I said no. That is not what I said. We can run it back.
That was a question. That's what I asked you. So you think is that not a question that I just asked?
No.
So you think that taxes is the only thing that causes inflation? That is a question.
So no.
That's a question. Okay.
No, but it's like a question with an implied answer. You're implying that's what
I wasn't implying. I asked you a question.
Okay. Then no. I don't believe that.
Because that's going to lead into the next thing that I was about to say.
Tariffs also cause inflation.
Tariffs also cause inflation. Okay. What about just giving other countries billions of dollars?
Probably, yeah.
Or leaving multi-million dollars worth of military gear in another country. Do you think those could maybe play a part?
That probably wouldn't cause inflation. That's a stupid thing to do. But I mean, like, we're talking about Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm. Neither one of those things you think are could cause inflation. Losing money.
Probably not the equipment. Although, like, that's not a good. That's like a loss. But the money was already spent.
The money was already spent on.
Like, if you have a paid off car and you leave the car, doesn't mean you have less money. It just means you lost an asset. You know what I mean?
Correct, but losing an asset loses money.
Sucks, but like, no.
Why doesn't it? If you have an asset, that's still net worth.
Sure, but you've already spent them. You've already lost the money. The money's gone.
But it's liquid. It's liquid.
It's not
your
liquid.
Assets are still. So you're gonna tell me right now, if you own a $5 million house, your net worth is $5 million. You know why? Because you
owning an asset. It doesn't. If that's not liquid. Liquid would be cash. You could trade a monetary.
You can't trade your house. You can't trade your house for something else. If you have a house worth $5 million,
liquid means. You know that's not.
If you have a house that you can't sell your house to get money,
now it's liquid. That makes it liquid.
And why wasn't it liquid before?
Because it's an asset.
Your net is liquid.
No, it wouldn't be liquid. No.
Yes, it is because you can get rid of it for money.
Then it becomes liquid. Yes. That's what liquidation is. Selling your assets for money.
So if you have an asset, you still have money.
Mm-hmm.
No, you can sell it for money.
It is part of your net worth.
The production of but net worths don't work the same way for like countries and shit like that.
All they did out there was they left that equipment for them, got out of there, right, and then decided to then fund Ukraine by selling them all of our old fucking guns and munitions. And we take that money, turn around, and then sell it, and then buy all of the new shit from Halliburton and those motherfuckers. Because who was it? Lockheed and them, their stock jumped up like fucking
Lockheed Martin.
Their stock jumped up like 20 points or some shit overnight, 15 points overnight. I don't know. I might have been exaggerating that number, but if I remember right, I smoke a lot of weed. The debt ceiling is going to climb for as long as we continue to print money. And no, we're not completely under Trump's tax code because there's also this thing called the Inflation Reduction Act that they put in 2022 that changed a lot of the tax codes. Anywho, that shit didn't drive down any fucking inflation. What happened was that they kept fucking printing out money and printing out money and printing out money and printing out money during COVID. The government
feeding the middle class is gonna be horrible.
Yeah, they decided to fucking fund that goddamn lockdown for months on end, right? And now you can't get people to work anymore. You're still fucking subsidizing people's living through all these goddamn government provided programs. And it's just never going to change until it decides to change, until someone decides to change that. And enacting tariffs, yes, it will cause inflation if people don't abide by the tariffs. People underestimate the lure of working with America. We are the hub.
But the tariffs are charged to the American companies, and the American companies are not
They're
going
not.
to. Yes,
Wait, what do you
are.
mean?
That's how the tariffs work. The tariffs
If
work,
you don't abide by it.
the tariffs work by the American companies, and this is why supposedly this is the only way that I could think it makes sense for these to work, is that American companies are supposed to supposedly foot the bill for whatever reason. I don't know why anybody would think that would happen. And then from then on, because they could apparently get cheaper rates within the United States, that would drive more business to the US and incentivize people to move back. And that's how I would imagine it would work, but that's definitely not how I would imagine in practice it would work, because companies are never gonna foot the bill.
No.
Trump already did it during his term, and it was working.
And what people really need to do is look around and say, okay, if Walmart is gouging the fucking price, why am I still shopping there?
Let me look that up for you real quick.
From what I understand, a lot of what Trump did were tax cuts.
Tax cuts and tariffs. 100% tariffs. Dude, there was memes. Tariffs are coming. Winter is coming. He talked about some of the tariffs that he did on the podcast.
Tariffs on solar panels, washing machines of 30 to 50%. He imposed tariffs on steel 25% and aluminum 10% from most countries, according to Morgan Stanley.
And solar panels
covered an estimated 4.1% of U.S. imports.
Did my back crack? That shit sounds crazy.
So I don't understand why you think that tariffs would not work.
Because they're just going to be billed to the people buying, to the consumer.
My biggest problem.
They're not, though. That's the thing, bro. Is because it has to go to look. If you have a certain overhead, right? Because you're thinking black and white. I understand how you're thinking. You're thinking, I have an iPhone and it cost me $1,000 for an iPhone, right? And then a tariff gets put in. Now I got to pay $1,200 for the iPhone. So no longer is this iPhone going to cost $1,000 like it used to. Now it's going to cost $1,200. And in order for me to break even, now you got to pay $1,200 for this iPhone, right? That's what you're thinking. That's how you view it going.
No, but in the business sense, I'm Walmart, and Putch is a whole different country that I buy from, right? And you're the consumer. I sell a shirt for this is how I've had it explained to me. If I'm wrong, show me where I'm wrong. I have a shirt for $10. I buy this shirt for $5 from Putch. Boom. Okay, perfect. Putch pockets the $5, and I sell it to you to Cisco for $12. This is how I make my money. $2 profit. Cool. Or what is it? Whatever it is.
$2 profit.
However much profit. Now, there's a tariff placed. Now, Putch isn't going to pay any sort of out-of-pocket fee because I'm just buying it from him. I'm going to pay an extra, let's say, $2. That was my profit margin. Well, now I'm going to go ahead and turn to Cisco and say, well, now my shirts are going to be $14. Because why would I foot the bill?
My question beyond all of that is why is this, like, people got to remember is why is this tariff being placed? Right?
Yep.
Is it because they don't have their shops in America? Is it because they're doing certain deals or they're pricing it a certain way? Like, you know what I mean? So my thing is yeah, you want to do business in America. You do it the way that we say that you're going to do it, bro.
No,
like
businesses
but
in America that are paying these tariffs.
Say it is like that though, right? Say it is how you view it, okay? D?
What do you think?
Hold on.
Really quick, because I want to get an understanding of what you think they are then.
Hold on. I'm about to explain it to you, okay?
Okay. Go for it.
So you buy a shirt from Korpsx. Normally, you buy it from him for $5.
Korpsx is China.
Korpsx is China, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Ha ha, you China motherfucker. All right. Korpsx is China, right? So he typically charges you what'd you say? $10 for a shirt?
Let's say
What was it?
Yeah. I meant it. I sell it for 12. I buy it for 10. Yes, that's it. That's
Okay.
what I
So
meant to
you
say.
buy a shirt from him for $12 or $10.
$10.
Boom. Transfer of $10.
Boom. Here's
You
$10
normally
for
sell
a
it.
shirt.
You normally sell it to me for $12, right?
$12.
But now they're like, hey, we're gonna put a 20% tax on this shit. Now you got to pay Corpse $12 for the shirt, or yeah, $12 for the shirt.
Yep.
So you're like, well, fuck, I can't buy the shirt for $12 and sell it to Cisco for $12 because now I make no profit, right?
No money.
So now you are being punished for buying from Corpse. But what you're saying is, well, if I'm gonna buy the shirt from Corpse for $12, now I have to raise my price to $14, right? Okay. So yes, that is typically probably what's going to happen, right? But instead of you giving your money to Corpse when the money should stay with, say, your house, how it's going to go is, well, now I'm getting taxed to give Corpse my money when Jose over here is selling his shirts for $12 and it's right down the street from my house. Now I can pay him $12 and tell Cisco, hey, this is American made. That I had to bump the price up a little bit to $14. And Cisco's going to say, okay, I'll pay $14. And now where does our money revolve? In your house instead of in Corpse's house.
But also, wouldn't it work even if tariffs were placed? Because if America's putting, so by that logic, if America's putting tariffs, basically you're paying that 20%. You're paying the government. So it's still in-house. Is it not?
No, because the money's still going to that country.
Part of it, yeah.
The 2%. Yeah, but that 20%, that $2 is going to our country. You're absolutely right about that. But what's more, $2 or $12? So if I'm going to try and force a way for you to keep the money here, why would I not impose that? Especially if you can put a 40 to 50% tax on certain shit that you can make here.
That is true. But if it were now in this analogy, we've created it to where it would make it's equal for me to make all my stuff here, and
equal to or less,
or for me to outsource it to a different country to import it. From what I would imagine businesses try to do is lower the amount of costs as much as possible while trying to keep the same quality. So I would imagine there's a reason why they import goods.
Absolutely.
Because it's cheaper, right? Overall.
Mm-hmm.
Even with these tariffs.
You know why? Because those little kids are the ones that can make the Nike shoes real fast.
Bro, I'm telling you, the same people against tariffs.
But from what I've heard,
if you're against tariffs, you're for children's workshops.
But also,
I'm gonna start saying that.
But also, from what I've heard, is that these jobs that are outside of the country, to be fair, like, yes, do we want jobs in the country? Absolutely. But these places that are having the jobs that make the goods, those are jobs that will also be taken away. And like, whether you care about that country,
who cares? That's a different country. I don't give a
story.
Fuck. And half of those kids, half of them are kids, and half of them get paid 7 cents a fucking hour, bro.
I think it depends on
that maybe it'll boost their economy too.
How about this? And if their company is so motherfucking,
fuck that other country, bro. If we want our country to do better.
If their company is so motherfucking socially active like they claim to be, bring them. Relocate them from the fucking Congo.
Legally.
Right?
Wait, what? So now I was about to say, now we're talking about bringing more people over when they were going to just keep
bring
more
them.
people
out. What do you mean? Anybody who wants to come to the country, come into the country, as long as you do it legally.
Legally, please help us out, fam. Help us out. Tax dollars here in America. Let's spend our money here in America. I'm about America, fam. And I'm.
You don't
I'm
think
sorry.
Kamala has this low key idea in the back of her head that let all these fucking immigrants in to hear the ugly orange man with yellow hair talk bad about Puerto Rico and all these fucking, Haitians and Ecuadorians and Puerto Ricans are all coming in, and guess what? They all get to vote.
Bro, all those Latinos, sure, they might vote for
They all get to vote.
But their kids are all going to be all fucking Republican, bro. All those Latinos, because they're all fucking Catholic. They all have very strong conservative views. And I mean, who's the only other people? Like, you know what I'm saying? Who else are they going to fucking vote for? Who? Like, you go to Florida and talk to some Dominicans and talk to some of the fucking Puerto Ricans down there, bro, and see who their dad loved. Their dad loved Ronald Reagan.
Bro, yeah, my dad loved Ronald Reagan too. He got his fucking immigration status because of that shit. But if you ask anybody in middle or lower class who they're voting for, a lot of people will say Trump. I would say probably majority.
A lot of people will say Trump.
Yeah,
majority. And here's the other thing that drives me nuts, bro, is that these tax breaks and shit that people are complaining about, bro. When tax season comes and you open up that TurboTax app, or you fucking go to H&R Block, or your fucking homie, hold on, I gotta sneeze. Or your homie calls you and was like, "Hey, I know a guy who can get me this much and that much return," bro. Everybody does that. So when people are getting mad at these rich people doing the same thing that H&R Block and TurboTax are promoting, it makes no fucking sense. Now, the one thing that I will say is I don't agree with rich people being able to hide their money in offshore accounts and things like that. No, that I'm completely against that. But if rich people, billionaires and millionaires, are trying to find tax cuts, there's a reason that they're that rich, because they were able to do those things. The same thing that you want to do when you go to H&R Block or TurboTax and you fucking click on get me my best return, that's exactly what they're doing. So
I have an issue too with people saying that just because they make X amount of money that they should, okay, well, let's tax them at this amount. And I'm like, hey fam, like, it's not their fault they make that much money though. Bro, and
I do think tax brackets should be a thing. I do believe tax brackets should be a thing.
Oh, Cisco, because I used to be a fucking socialist. You know that. I used to be hardcore. But at the same time, if I put out a product, a t-shirt, right, just amongst all these other t-shirts, if I can't monopolize the economy, if I can't take out all these other businesses by law, I'm not allowed to do that, then why should I be hitting these things of like 45-50% of my income should now go to the government just because I did good? I'm stimulating the motherfucking economy. And especially, let's talk about tariffs, and I'm an American brand, right? Like, how can you have the tariff and then also have the high taxes? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's why people say, oh, well, tax breaks is like, well, if you're trying to promote American this and that, like, you can't also be taxing out the fucking yin yang, American entrepreneurs, business owners, guys who make fucking,
sick ass podcasts.
Yeah, you give me gang.
No, but I do believe that taxes across the board should come down. Across the board, bro. Yeah. But because especially here in California, bro, let me tell you something. When I was in the car business, my income fluctuated, right? Every month to month. Some months I would make $8,000. Some months I would make $10,000. Some months I would make $15,000. Some months I would make $4,500, right? But it always fluctuated, and my taxes fluctuated because I got taxed on my tax bracket for that month in commission sales.
Like based on I would get a yearly, like if you were to consistently make that much per.
Correct. So if I got paid $4,500, I'd probably get taxed like normal Americans get taxed, right? Which is like what say 18 to 22%, something like that. But if I made $15,000 in a month, my taxes would be 43%, bro. I would take home half of my paycheck. So if I made $15,000, I'm only taking home $7,500.
No,
that's absolute bullshit. No. There's no reason I should be taxed that fucking much money. No. And people that are in six-figure tax brackets feel that every single month. That goes for entrepreneurs, salespeople, businessmen, nurses, doctors, but like anybody that owns a business and makes six figures plus feels that 43, anywhere between 39 and 43%, depending on your dependents and shit like that. But
and you know what, Zero, you are right. I think it was you.
What's up?
You are right. It is their fault that they make that much money, because there's people out there who practice their fucking craft so hard. Yeah. And I just think it's bonkers, bro. 50% of your income.
Like, hey, let's live the American dream and try and fucking make as much money as we can. But guess what? They're going to be punished for it.
Yeah, to people who I don't even know. To people who like show me the pothole you filled with my tax money, dog. Like,
what does suck? I will say, like, that does suck, right? Like, obviously, being taxed a lot sucks. I do think, to some degree, maybe not as much as we are being taxed, we should have a buy-in to the community, but we should also see that buy-in be reflective of like the fruits
Bro, it
of
should
our
be
labor.
everything. I believe all schools should fucking give free lunches and free breakfast
Absolutely.
to kids.
Yes.
Like
Books being like, you know, not shitted on and fucking written in, and like, you know,
yeah,
this one's
I
half fucking
like
broke,
that's
you know,
where it needs to
ripped up.
go, right? That's where it needs to go. It needs to go to
I
that
agree.
to the future of our country. It needs to go to that
Future of our
like
country. The roads should be good. I mean, like, yeah, especially if we're living in California. We should be we're paying the most in taxes. We should be seeing all this
we're
shit.
the golden state for a reason. We pay for that fucking gold, baby.
And it doesn't feel like it. And that's
Never,
why
yeah, it
that's
doesn't
why
feel-
I get so mad. And I
You know why? Because we're a border state. We have all these fucking immigrants that are taking EBT and WIC and fucking free this fucking Obamacare. Like that's where the money is going to, bro. But you laugh, but it's true. And guess what? That's
No
an
one wants to
immigration
say that
issue
out loud.
also. Like it's an immigration issue also. So once you start fixing these things little by little, that's when the bigger scheme comes into play and you can fucking start fixing things
or
way
like
they
the
need to be fixed.
programs that they've had to like try to clean up the homeless. And I just think it becomes I mean, I haven't seen that, right? Like let's fucking be real. I haven't seen that, right? And I feel like this money gets funneled in there and it just turns into paperwork that hits paperwork and by the
Like-
time you've spent all it's millions down the fucking drain, dog. Like I can't. It's crazy out here right now, Pimp.
And honestly, bro, honest to God, that's why I say the lesser of two evils, because one of the presidents will make a difference in what we're talking about, and the other will not.
But he had a shot and he didn't do it. It didn't seem like it.
He did do it. What do you mean? Everything was cheaper. There was no wars. There was
No, but we're
less illegal immigrants.
There we go.
I don't.
Well, I can't believe you just said that. That's fucking mind blowing, bro.
Zero
I
to
cannot
five
believe you just said that,
I,
bro.
I just brought a statistic up and I just skimmed it. I just skimmed it, bro.
Let's hear the statistic.
From what I saw, it was that
Gas
there
was cheaper?
Less overall crime. There was less overall illegal crime. There was less overall illegal immigrants coming over and everything. But I should read it before I say anything because I could be totally ass backwards wrong. Give me a little bit of time to read it.
What you're saying
Wait, but
during
this is-
Biden's presidency?
Well, this is 12 to 18. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a little bit.
That
of
was
time.
definitely right before. That was Barack. You know, the guy that
yes,
put
Puerto
that
Rico.
the guy that left all those kids in cages at the border with the space blankets. That was that guy.
Well, the weird thing, though, there's
Also-
a weird thing that I have when they try to talk about any kind of statistics when we talk about the years of 2019, 20, and 21, because the world was very weird.
Well, I think you can void 2020. I think to be
can't
fair,
statistically, you
Yeah.
can't. And
Yeah, but-
they also changed laws about thievery, right? And it has to be what $1,000 before it's.
that's in California though. That's California law.
There's other places that have similar laws just like it. I think it's
They
like
changed
New
it?
Jersey or some shit.
It's under like $4,000 or something, $2,000 or $4,000, where you can steal that much money and not be it counts as like petty theft or some shit like
Yeah.
that. Like it's not a felony.
How many arrests?
You can't get chased out or some shit like that.
How many real arrests were made during the riots? Right? Like how many real arrests were even being made while anybody was being locked up in the house? You get what I'm saying? Like let's talk about what's crime. Like everyone is scared to even be outside, fam. Like so it's weird. It's weird when we want to talk about statistics 2019, 2020, 2020.
Yeah, I will give you that.
Right. But we all were alive.
2019 doesn't account in that though, because the lockdown didn't start until the end of the first quarter of 2020, like
It was
the end
February.
of March or something.
It was in February. I remember, at the end of February, because I remember I celebrated my birthday, and then like 2 weeks after we were in lockdown.
Well, it was December.
Well, it was after, because Peanut's birthday is March 4th, and we had a birthday party for him.
Oh, no. It was December. Those guys were out there in China playing with the NBA. I think it was by January. Rudy Gobert.
we have such different memories of this.
I think it was February. Rudy Gobert popped hot with some fucking weird like cold or some shit, or the guys over there were getting sick. I think that was in
March
February.
15th, 2020
I
Was
will
the
say,
first
I mean, like,
lockdown.
was the
like
lockdown, correct?
2020 and overall, like the last 4 years, it's obviously an anomaly. Like, there are certain things that you can attribute to like
Can you
crazy
do
spending.
2021? Can you do 2021 to now?
No.
Just to try and make it
No,
fair?
but like
I'm trying to
from
be. All I'm saying is I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying
just
to be
saying,
fair
like, the
because
fall
all the
off
stuff that
of,
Corpse is saying. True.
but like the fall off of what you would see is like from what we saw in 2020, it's gonna be over the next couple of years that we're gonna see the aftermath of like what really was the repercussions of what happened in that year. You know what I mean? Like it's all gonna play out.
Yeah, but laws still change. Some laws become immediate.
I know one thing. In 2018, right, I saw one thing in my community. I know now I see another thing in my community. I know, right, in 2018 when I was working on construction sites, right, there was a lot of union guys and shit running around. And here recently in Columbus, Ohio, I seen 2 buses of Ethiopians get dropped off to work, which was supposed to be a union site. Now, I don't have a problem with these guys coming out there and getting their bread. Get your bread. But where the fuck did you come from, playa? Like, who are you guys? And it was consensus amongst everybody that, hey, playa, somebody's got to hang them solar panels.
I just don't understand how you don't see a difference in
just
the
like
America that happened up until Biden got into office to now.
I mean, I think there is a difference. But like I said, I think 2020, it's just hard because like I don't think it's fair to say that 2020 is like where you would say we don't count that year, but like every year after that, like we definitely count.
I was saying that we don't count that year to be fair to you.
I know that's what I'm saying is I still don't think that that's fair. Even if it were like the opposite, I'm saying because even in the moment towards the end of 2020, maybe beginning or middle of 2021, I remember hearing a lot of I don't know if economists, but people who were like maybe quoting economists saying that like we won't see the aftermath of all of this spending that we're doing until 4, 5, 6, whatever, however many years later, because it's so immediate and so much right now, and everything's being held up stock wise and everything.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Economically, and then obviously
you're saying like these businesses won't rise back up off their feet as fast as everything was cut is what you're saying.
They said the same thing with Obama's Obama's first term. He was saying like I'm inheriting a mess, like it's going to take a few years, right? Like because the housing crisis, you know what I'm saying? Like in
08.
Yeah, you get me? And that was the same year he was elected. He's like, yo, we're stepping into a fucking whirlwind. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is I don't think we'll see the end of the COVID era until this Donald Trump era is over. I think for some weird reason they're living hand in hand, right? The economy will finally come around when he's no longer able to be president and they throw him away in jail somehow. 10 years.
Trump?
Yes, they're going to figure out a way to fucking put him in jail eventually. Whether he's
if he gets elected president, he won't serve his full term.
Yeah,
he's either gonna get
allegedly,
or he's gonna be in jail.
He'll fall down.
No, no. What do you mean? No, bro.
They've already made 2 tries, bro.
3. They made 3 tries.
Can we talk about that real quick? Because I know we don't have much time. How are we just glossing over the fact that this fool has had a curse on his life?
Because the narrative is nobody wants him in office, bro.
But you don't do that to someone.
But I also heard that at least the first dude was a Republican, which was weird. Because for a second I was like, oh damn, bro, like
he was also part of a certain group.
Somebody got real serious about not wanting him, and I thought it was a Democrat for sure, bro. I'm like, no, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing?
He was definitely part of a group, I'll tell you that much.
He's working with BlackRock. 2 of them. 2 of the shooters both had commercial interviews or some shit like with BlackRock.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The same company who's been buying up American houses. Company. Hold on, now check this out. The same company that's buying up American farmland and American houses, right? That it's trying to work a deal to subsidize those houses to the U.S. government. What the U.S. government's going to do is turn around and say, okay, we'll provide these low rate home loans to first time buyers. Whose economic plan does that sound like?
No say.
Mrs. Harris, and she plans on giving those home loans to first-time buyers and also to illegal immigrants. Give that a goog.
And a chunk of money, dog. And a
Give
chunk of
that
money.
a goog. Give it a goog.
Her plan was. Why did I hear? I heard that her plan was to prevent companies like BlackRock to commoditize housing like that.
Oh, where'd you hear that?
Negativo, Stevo.
Where did I hear that?
Yeah,
from somebody.
No, you know what it is you gotta remember the words that they use is anymore. BlackRock's already done the damage. They've been doing it for years.
And Kamala's whole fucking team is doubling down on this 2025
Project 2025 thing. Yeah, that's different. You know what's crazy is everything that Project 2025 says really is that there's going to be an internal overthrow, right? That's pretty much what they're saying. And I could have swore we've been saying that for years, like 15
NWO,
years.
Baby.
Yeah, like bro, we need to overthrow the government, overthrow it from within. You know, you got all these corrupt politicians, drain it out, blah 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 blah. And Lord behold, like here's this plan where people are like, look at what he's going to do. They want to replace all these people who've been in politics for 30 years and spearheaded the invasion of Iraq. They're the reason why your guys' life suck and they want to take them out. Why would you guys do that? Because that's exactly what I want to have fucking happen. Matter of fact, whose people you put them in there with? That's a different story. But get people out of there. Get the fucking. I think they need to have term limits, bro. They need to introduce term limits because these.
D is researching the fuck out of shit right now. He never answered the question though. If the economy was better, if the economy was better under Trump or under where we're at now, which I'll give you. The whole COVID thing, but it was still a question. Because we were going down the list, remember? Economy, immigration, and what was the other one? Healthcare. We're never gonna get free healthcare, bro.
Give me the years. Hold on. When was Donald Trump?
2016. Wasn't it 2016?
To 2020.
To 2020?
Mm-hmm. My dad passed away the very next month.
Election 2016. Very true. I mean, I'll give it to you. Probably under Trump, but
probably.
I mean, like, am I gonna, bro? I'm like, this is the first time I'm living on my own. This is when I'm like really paying attention to the bills. So like, did I fuck around and like, was candy less expensive, more expensive? I don't remember exactly.
I'm not even talking about candy. I'm just talking about how about your trip to work? Oh well, you also didn't work at Spectrum.
I didn't work as far. Yeah. Like,
because what's nutty is that even under Obama, prices were
Obama. I like that name.
Obama. It wasn't this bad. There's just no way, So
but
I
that's
think
what I'm
something
saying too. Is that like
interesting happening?
It's just hard to say that like, oh, it's because of the sitting president currently when the deficit spending because of COVID is so instrumental in that because of the the whiplash back that we have to address because of what was done in 2020.
It's okay, like, bro, what we've learned at the end of the day.
That's all I'm saying. But I'll give it to you. I'll say
D is okay with World War III. He's okay with dudes chopping off their cocks and giving them the chicks. He's okay with also organizations being made for certain races and then those people spending their money on big ass houses.
Is a bill that Kamala
he's for it all.
So that way places like BlackRock can't buy a vast amount of locations and commoditize them like they have been doing.
And that's a part of her plan. That's part of her future plan.
It's called Stop Predatory Investing Act.
Okay.
Yes. It was presented originally by Ohio.
Oh, and then we're gonna know where our tax dollars are going because they're gonna go to all these immigrants. And they're gonna have houses before us.
Huh?
And that was presented when?
2023, last year.
2023. Interesting. Good for her. I hope she. Oh, that's really a bigger target at Airbnb, right? But BlackRock already has that cornered, my friend.
But I mean, I think.
No, but seriously,
she has a plan.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter who
you're
voting for.
Not a concept of a plan.
But you know what happens though if she passes that bill? You know what just happened is that BlackRock, whatever they have already owned, is already locked in place.
I mean, yeah, we can't stop that, right? Like, there's not going to be the active reacquisition of property that's already been acquired by a different company. Like, that's just
no. But then ask yourself, you have two shooters who do a commercial with them. You don't see nothing weird in that? Never mind.
I think it's weird to try to assassinate anybody. So, like, let's just get that straight away clear. That's fucking crazy. Why the fuck?
Hey, dude, are you working for the CIA? Are you a fucking Fed, bro?
Me personally, I
yes,
can't.
Are you
that.
a Fed?
That's a question I can't answer, Cisco. That you could ridicule me on.
No, but seriously, though, it doesn't matter. As long as you're getting out to vote, that's all that matters, bro. Honestly,
yeah.
Like
Zero came hot with a Trump question earlier, and we just went into it,
we just did the
weave, bro. Zero.
No, I just because I'm telling you that Zero watched that JRE episode biasly, I think. So
no shot.
I genuinely think you do.
No,
and just because he wasn't talking how you think a normal conversation should go, I think
a normal human. True.
That's how he talks, bro. That is how he talks.
Yeah, and then when
he humanized himself,
bro. If I get off the phone with somebody like that, I'm like, that motherfucker didn't make a lick of fucking sense. Jesus Christ, and got him off.
It's opinion. See, and that's why it's opinion because Korpsx and I both said that we thought that the podcast was a good podcast.
That was good.
No.
There was some rambling. I'll give you that.
A lot of people think that it was good. I'll listen to it again because I truly, I promise, and I'm not trying to be hateful. I don't think he did because it was a conversation. That's all I really expected from it.
Not according to you, was it?
No, it was every attempt at a conversation. I guess you're right.
It was a little,
but it was just a bumbling, and then also, and this is just speaking to the type of conversation style maybe that he likes to take. It's just not something that I like to associate myself with. This is just on a personal basis. This is like what I noticed. Anytime he brought up anything, it was always the best. I thought he only did that in his rallies.
The greatest.
He is a business person. He's a business person.
The smartest.
He's a salesman, bro.
I literally went in. They kissed my feet. They said my uncle was the best, the greatest they'd have ever seen. Bro, shut the fuck up already. God, Jesus Christ.
And he said your uncle Johnny is fabulous, man.
He wrote many books.
Frankly, one of the best men. He wrote many books. Some say they were the best book.
And I literally...
That's just how he talks, bro. That's how he talks. He's an idiot. He's a salesman.
What sucks is that, on one end, you'll say that, Kamala sucks because she has all these presented things. I think he did come out like he comes out.
No, from what I did not. I told you why I think Kamala would not do well on Joe Rogan. I never said she sucks. I said that it would suck because it wouldn't be a conversation.
Okay. I just want to make sure that different.
Yes, because I don't think she's a sucky human being. I don't view her negatively. I've literally always said the only reason I'm voting the way I'm voting is because it's the lesser of two evils. I think Trump is an absolute dickwad. I think he talks horribly. I don't think that Kamala can have a normal conversation with somebody in the political sphere that she's in, and that episode would suck. Is what I said.
What does
I
that
think
mean
she's
that
a
he doesn't?
good hang though. Like she is someone that if you get her behind closed doors, you're talking and y'all's
Yeah, you
chilling.
know she's an alcoholic, bro.
Yeah, she's a
She's off the
player.
wine every time she goes up on that fucking stage.
Yeah,
And she likes guns. I guarantee you, we would be like, let's get some Henny and let's go out and shoot some fucking watermelons, and she'd be all
yeah.
for it.
A
That'd be
black and
insane.
mild, a thing of Henny, and you get the real her. But she can't put that out
So
there.
that's why I don't understand. Like, what are you getting? What am I? Where are you misconstrued in what I'm saying? I don't think she's. I think she sucks as a politician, and I don't think that she'd be able to have a good interview with Joe Rogan.
What do you mean by so earlier just
Or not
now,
interview, a good episode.
earlier just now you said that Trump sucks at speaking. I'm paraphrasing, but
Yeah,
you
his
said he
speeches.
speaks horrible. What does that mean?
Correct. As a politician, as a president, there is a demeanor that you should have. And if you want who I think had some of the best demeanor in our time alive was fucking Barack Obama.
Mhm.
That man could give a speech and made the country feel like they were coming together on all terms.
Very true.
Even George W. Washington, that dude sucked at fucking talking. When 9/11 happened, the speech that he gave was absolutely horrendous.
George.
You put Barack up there, oh bro, you would fucking.
Killer.
I don't give a fuck what party you're for. You would give up and give a fucking standing ovation to that man.
Mhm.
That's what I mean as, bro. You're presenting yourself as the leader of the free world. You should speak that way.
Mhm.
You don't speak like, you're talking to the homies outside and try and crack a joke. You know what I mean? Like, sure, there's a time and place for that, sure, but there's like being able to talk in complete sentences properly and being able to move your country the way that you want them to move, instead of like it being a rock concert, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Look at a Barack Obama speech and then look at a Trump speech.
No, I
That's
agree.
what I mean.
I
That's what I mean.
have limited memory on Barack Obama because at the time I was younger. I wasn't really paying attention to the political sphere as much.
I think when
it was like awesome. Whenever I saw it, I was like, "Bro, this guy's fucking sick."
Yeah.
look up when what's his face died, McCain. When Obama spoke at McCain's memorial or whatever it was that they did at the White House, bro, that speech is amazing. I'm not a Barack Obama supporter, but I love the way that man talked.
Phenomenal orator.
That is what I mean. Kamala, she's okay at speeches because Obama is writing her speeches.
Mhm.
Wait, so out of the two, who you got? Speech.
Out of the two, what?
Just on how to speak to the country.
If I had to pick between the two, I would
Sure,
pick
yes.
Kamala over
Okay.
Trump.
So what else would make like a good leader? Because I agree. I think there's a certain demeanor. There's a certain...
But that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter to me as where policies go. I care more about
Sure,
policy than who's the ones than the speaker. I don't. You can make a fucking piece of shit, sound shiny, but if you're not doing something about it, then I don't give a
But
fuck.
like, also to be fair, this wasn't going to be in the JRE episode. I never expected it to be because this isn't about political. This is just talking to Donald Trump, and I get that. What are some of Donald Trump's policies?
His immigration policy,
What
closing.
is it though? What is it?
What is the full? I can
Like,
tell you the full policy.
What? Yeah, I don't think very many people could. That's the thing. It's like I don't know what. Even in the debate that he gave with Kamala, like Kamala listed when it was like economics and it came to housing. I think it was like a tax credit for people who are like within families, giving a higher tax credit to them. Housing, when it comes to overall housing, I think just a slightly, and she named numbers, slightly higher tax credit to those who are doing like either an FHA or maybe even introducing a whole nother like a tax credit loan type of situation to incentivize home buyers. That was like in that debate. And that was where the meme of the concept of a plan came from, is that that
Correct,
conversation that they had.
Okay, but you want to hear like exactly how the plan is going to go, because you know that that law is, or that what plan they want to put in is going to be like fucking pages and pages long. That's what I'm saying. I can't tell you exactly what it is.
I don't think he has even said it.
Really, in all actuality, they're just going to go back with the same taxes that he had before. They're going to reintroduce new tariffs. His biggest running points is immigration, right? First off,
yes,
with immigration, former immigration policies, bro. Like, arrest.
Yeah, I don't care if that means building a wall. I don't care if that means giving more money and
arrest and deport.
Border patrol.
Arrest and deport.
I understand. I think like what we can all agree to is like he says border issues, and we could all infer. And this is what I got a lot from the. I was going to say Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan episode, was that
our boy JP.
A lot of the mental energy is actually coming from the crowd, inferring what he believes and what they think he's going to do. He's putting and this is just in my opinion, from what I can gather, he's putting this is the issue that I'm going to fix. And everybody's putting their own like, oh, he's going to do this, bro. Fucking finally, somebody's going to do X, Y, Z. But he has the blank slate. He's writing everybody a blank check to say, this is the issue I'm going to fix. Write your answer there, fill in the blank, and that's what I'll do. No, and that's why I could point to certain things that Kamala, at the very least, said that she would do. Now, whether or not she's going to do, that we'll see, or maybe we won't. But at least I could, point to it. That's why I'm saying, like, I've listened to these debates where Republicans will come up to Democrats, and a lot of the times they can get stumped by just somebody asking, like, what are some things he said he would do? And a lot of them
but that's easily debatable, right? You literally just said that she was going to bring back or help people with FHA loans and shit like that, right? And we gave you,
but she gave amounts. She said, "This is how I'm going to improve it by XYZ. $6,000 for I believe it was $6,000 for anybody who has, I want to say, like 2 kids or more. I could be wrong on the numbers.
That's already the number.
Then it was an improved version of it. That's all. It's
already the number. You get $3,000 a child.
No, that's her burden though. Like, that's her burden. We know what his policy is. It just hasn't changed. That's why when you guys ask, but what's his policy? It's like, what do you mean? What's his policy? None of it's changed.
But if none of it's changed, then you would be able to name it. Like,
okay.
we
told you that he's gonna put his tariffs back up.
If I've read a book and I'm like, what's your favorite chapter? I'd be able to tell you the chapter.
Hold on. Allegedly, we're still in his tax code, right? Allegedly.
That's what I've heard. Yes.
Minus the Inflation Reduction and minus the Inflation Reduction Act, right? Which switched some shit up. So we already know what his tax code is. We already know what his immigration policy is. Arrest and deport. Similar to what Barack Obama did, but a little less, where you have like Dreamers and this and the certain programs going, right? That's
but he did say Dreamers could stay. Trump did say Dreamers could stay.
So you have your programs with that. That's one thing, and I'm cool with that. Tariffs, cool, bring that back. Stop the wars happening out in the East, right? Help try to negotiate that down.
Yeah, because he did say that it's not arrest and deport everybody that's here. He said that. No. He said Dreamers and people with amnesty can be here. And if they're already in the country, the same shit with Reagan shit, right? If you're already in the country, there's not really much. I'm going against the motherfuckers that are fucking killing and fucking stealing and doing all this shit.
What I like and what I think would be beneficial, just overall, for somebody to be able to point to something, is to have it all either in a speech. This is how I'm going to do it, especially when especially
what he said.
Yeah, but you can't point to any one thing. I could tell you that debate that they did, that's exactly where she laid it out, because she was asked that question. And Trump said, I have a concept of a plan.
That's her burden, though, more than ever. That's because for the last.
Okay, let me ask you a question: Is stopping the war in Ukraine not a plan?
No,
that's not a plan. I plan to stop the war in Ukraine. That's a plan.
Tell me the plan.
I plan.
That's a goal. That is not the plan.
Damien, you can't go on national television talking about, I'm going to go into Vladimir Putin's office and I'm going to demand that he does this and demand that he does that. No,
but you could say, I have a plan to end the war. I'm looking to negotiate with certain individuals that are going to help us move forward with hopefully a peaceful outcome.
Has that not been?
No, he hasn't said that. No, he has not.
He even said it on the Joe Rogan podcast,
Okay,
bro.
No, what he said was, I can't say anything that I'm gonna say because then I can't. Then I can't. What is it? Then they're gonna know everything that I'm gonna say, and then it won't be as effective. X, Y, Z, whatever.
But I will
he
have a
still
conversation with Putin. Is what he said.
Yes, but he had. But
there you go.
But also,
Plan.
You don't hear it the way that you want to hear it. That
no,
is the
because
plan.
it sucks.
Because he's not giving you numbers, because he's not giving you the exact route that he's gonna take.
Sorry,
like,
but if
you still have
if,
a plan.
No, but if
I plan on going to the gym, do I have to tell you what time I'm going?
At the beginning of the year, if I say, if you say, yo, what's the plan for the end of the year? I'm gonna be shredded. Okay, what's the plan? I'm gonna be shredded.
Gang.
But that's your plan, is to do that.
No, that's the goal. That is the goal, is to get shredded.
So okay, I plan on going to the gym.
I'm gonna make $1 million. What's the plan? I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make $1 million.
Not the same though.
No. I want to make $1 million. It's not the same thing as I plan on.
I'm going to make $1 million. That's the plan.
That's
how are you gonna do it? I'm gonna make it.
That's nowhere near the same though, guys. Let's be real.
How?
I think you're stretching a little bit.
Yeah, that's
I'm literally giving you like
you can't
1
compare.
to 1.
You can't compare what I can do as far as a financial plan, right? Like, I can write you this business plan.
But even
saying to a presidential candidate, right, the American presidential candidate on live television or live recorded wherever the fuck, saying, "Hey, you said that you could stop the war in the East. How do you plan on doing that?" Well, you know what? I'd go in there and I would have Zelensky and I would have Putin and I would have a conversation with them, and I guarantee it, by the time I leave from there, that war will be on its trend to stop, right? Oh, well, what are you going to say? What else? What else is there supposed to be said there?
Even in so
I'm gonna implement
the war portion and the war example is obviously going to be a little bit more touchy, because there's obviously strategic things that you can't do that national security. Sure.
What it comes down to for me is all speech, bro.
No, bro. When you're talking about literally in that same debate, if I can point to something that my candidate said that she's going to do, and you could say that it's her burden all you want, but at the end of the day, if it's not clear, because you could infer, and because he didn't even say same as last time, which at that point I could be like, okay, what did he do last time?
I'm gonna bring terrorists back.
That's cool, but I don't even think he knows what that means. The way that he even spoke about it Putch, those are all great ideas. I'm glad that we could just do those. But every president is gonna say, I just don't believe, like, if Kamala had said the exact same things, you guys would be like, what the fuck did she say?
I already think, what the fuck did she say?
But you don't have to. I literally named like 3 things. And in the debate itself, she said.
Even her own policies, I don't agree with.
That's fine if you don't agree with it. That's fine. But on Cisco's end, you can't say, what did she say? Because I could point to what she said. She said it.
Why can't I still say that? Because some of the times she doesn't even fucking make any sense. I say the same thing about Trump. He doesn't fucking make any sense. Sometimes neither one of them make any fucking sense about what the fuck they're talking about.
I'm not going to co-sign everything she says. Don't get that twisted.
No, you're glazing.
But no. But the thing is, what I'm noticing is because there's no, and he did it. That's fucking the only difference. No, there's no. Here is my A, B, C, D, all the way to Z plan on what I'm going to do in my presidency. You know, half the shit that she's saying, she's not even going to be able to go through with it anyways.
But at least she said something, bro. Like, what do you want me to do?
How much more of Kamala have you watched than Trump?
I will watch more Trump. I have. I
Is that a true statement?
Interesting.
Because if you say that you watch more Trump, because if you're saying that you watch more Trump and he doesn't say what he's gonna do, I think that's crazy.
I've been listening, bro.
That's interesting.
And what I was gonna say too is I was gonna listen to the podcast again because I want to soak it all in, and I want to listen to every bit of super advanced knowledge he has, because
it's already biased, and nobody said it was super advanced knowledge.
No, I'm not. I didn't say anybody said that. All I'm saying is that I obviously missed something, because you guys thought it was good. I thought it was, because
we're not looking at it. We're not looking at it in the eyes of him being a politician. You're thinking this guy is about to run the country, and he's blah 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 blah.
Yeah, bro, because he is.
But that's why I'm saying it humanized him. That podcast humanized him, and it showed that he's an actual person, not this dude on rallies fucking rah rah all the fucking time. He watches UFC.
But also,
he golfs.
nobody.
He
Also,
fucking
wait, super quick. I want to touch on that. It's so sucky that he got away with like, I do this weaving and this is how I say the narrative. And then whenever he got asked a question about anything pertaining to boxing, yo, I had the answers so fucking quick. I'm gonna go through it again because I want to make sure.
What are
that
you
I'm
talking
not biased.
about? What?
When it came to
couldn't remember somebody's
about
name.
boxing, when it came to the stuff about the what is it called, the other organization,
UFC,
MMA, is that what it's called? UFC. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. He remembered every name, basically.
No, he didn't.
Basically every name.
He said Khabib's name like 7 fucking times.
Bro, they were going down the list of like different fighters who were some of the greatest, and he knew who Joe Rogan was talking about.
Well, he whiffed one of them though. That was
No, he didn't. He just said, "Oh yeah, John Jones, he's great." Like Joe was the one going down all the fucking names. He's the one who said Poirier. He's the one who said GSP. He's the one who said John Jones. He's the one who was naming the fucking Mighty Mouse as a fighter. It was all Joe.
What would prove to you that I'm not biased?
Nothing. If you come out and say, okay, no, if you come out and say, no, hold on. Honestly, I'm being honest here. I was being facetious.
Okay.
But if you can come out and say, okay, I understand where Korpsx and Cisco thought that this was a good one because I see where the humanizing things come to play, then I will. If you genuinely say that, then I can say that you're not biased.
Wait, I can agree to that. I could see where humanizing him, because it's a longer conversation, not necessarily about fully political things, more about his interests. I could see how that humanizes him. Absolutely.
Hold on. I do want to say something.
But that makes it not a bad podcasting.
Oh, so recorded by the BBC, right? So let's just
Big
see how
black chicken.
Let's see how on spot we've been with some of the policies, because this is a list of the policies between both candidates, right? Trump wants to end inflation, obviously, and he's saying, well, really, a president doesn't have any control over that. But he says that he could do that by deporting undocumented immigrants, right, which will help relieve housing, and also about tariffs. Cool. Then taxes, obviously, proposes a number of tax cuts, including an extension of his 2017 cuts, which I said earlier, right? What's an issue? Abortion. We already know where he stands out on that. Immigration. We know where he stands on that.
Wait, where does he stand on abortion? Because he said he was like the leading in something. I don't even know what he said, honestly.
He has struggled, right? And especially when you talk about the judges, right? The whole issue with the judges overturning the constitutional right to an abortion, whatever, right? The Roe v. Wade. Now he hasn't been clear with the connection that he's having with the IVF protection.
Yeah, the IVF. I remember.
I don't see where anybody makes that stretch where I don't ever remember a statement from him or anything of his campaign saying that he was against IVF. I don't know how they got there.
He said that he's not against IVF.
Yeah, no, he's not.
He said he was like a leading in IVF.
He's fighting for IVF.
I'm almost positive that he stands on the position where it currently stands, where it's a state-by-state choice.
Yes, that is the thing.
If I'm correct, I think I'm correct.
But what, like, where? Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. I could have forgotten. I don't know where he stands on abortion.
No, abortion itself, he's not for abortion. Okay, definitely. Foreign policy, obviously isolationist. Goddamn right, make America great again. Right, trade, tariffs.
Oh, he came out with the hardest colorway for his hat, though. Did you guys see it? The black with the gold writing.
Ooh, I haven't seen that.
Bro, that shit looked money.
I heard. I don't know. I don't know, because I never followed like the Proud Boys arc, but I heard supposedly.
Oh, but the colorway was the same as the Proud Boys.
Like the colorway, yeah. No, I could.
Well, it's the same colorway as the New Orleans Saints too. So
I was gonna say I could give it a pass that it's probably just black and gold.
Oh,
like,
here's one of his issues.
Maybe.
It's been because of healthcare, is what BBC is saying. It says that he has called for taxpayer-funded fertility treatment, but that could be opposed by Republicans in Congress. So I think that's what the IVF thing is, and they're throwing his name along with it because there might be a couple people who are some of his loyalists who are like, nah, it's not going to be taxpayer-funded. I can see why they'll stand against that, especially if they're in the pockets of the insurance companies. law and order. There's guns, marijuana. Because Trump has been tough on marijuana, right? And Harris, I don't believe anything she says about that shit. She's a fucking piece of shit. I mean, when you look at her work as a DA in Cali, like it speaks for itself. So I'm cool off that. But yeah, his policies have been pretty fucking straightforward. It's pretty much 2017 in a nutshell all over again.
Wait, what? Hold on, sorry. I did not get anything other than tariffs. And then one other thing. Well, a deportation.
Everything else is still the same. Tax cuts, right? Especially on corporate. They had it at 15% in 2017. Somebody pull up the fucking numbers, right?
But wait, okay, so like I know, oops, hold on. This is the wrong tab. And I have to go to bed. Listen, this has to be a part 2 because I have to go to bed.
All right.
Listen, I'm not biased, okay?
You're fucking seething in bias, dude. You're dripping in it, bro.
It's okay though. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. One day they may will have a child and it'll all make sense soon.
No, but also like
everything that we've ever told him.
I'm really not. Like what? I don't get where you guys think I'm coming off as.
And we're not here campaigning for Trump either.
I mean, y'all kind of rode hard. We're doing a little bit of tricks on it. Nah, I'm just playing. All the tricks on it. But I don't understand why you guys think I'm biased. I don't really get that.
You're mad biased.
I just think that it's a very poor. Well, that a poor argument is that you believe that the leader of the free world should be a good speaker, and that's why you don't like Trump. I feel like that's.
I get why.
Or that's why you like Kamala.
That's crazy.
I can accept why you don't like Trump. I can accept that.
No, wait. I just didn't.
I think
like
that's
the
a crazy reasoning.
I didn't like the podcast. That's all.
But you even said that that Kamala is a better speaker, and you believe.
You also said that.
I did, but
yeah,
that's
I agree with that.
That's not a reason for me to vote for Kamala, though. Is what I'm saying.
Wait. That's not the only reason.
I didn't say. I said a reason. I didn't say the reason.
You said you also believe that the leader of the free world needs to be a good speaker. He also laughed, which I'm like, bro, yeah, obviously. Yeah. What?
Okay, yes, but what I'm saying is, Kamala is not a great speaker.
Boys, I got dinner waiting for me.
My bad.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're about to go do it again.
All right.
Listen, all right. Much love to both of these individuals. I still love you both. Okay.
We still love you. Say it. You want to make no? We're not gonna get into it.
I'm winning the break.
You guys,
okay. Listen, guys, are you okay? Listen, I'm here for you. If you need a text, if you need a call, I'll be here. Okay.
Yeah, all the rainbow-haired people are gonna text and call you. It's okay.
Don't be mad, Cisco. I won't take it to heart.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. I want you to go vote. And if you're going to vote for Kamala, vote for Kamala. If you're going to vote for Trump, vote for Trump. I don't care who you vote for. I just want you to go vote. And that goes for everybody. Whether you're listening, whether it's UD.
Even if you don't vote, I hope that you guys know that you have the ability to exercise that right. And here in America, that is guaranteed to us. So for those who are participating in that procedure, in that process, I salute you. Yeah, cast your vote, cast it wisely. It doesn't matter who you vote for, honestly, but do diligence.
And just add on to that, just know if you're not voting, an illegal immigrant will. All right.
Hey. You. My
name
is Korpsx. This has been the Usual Tuesday podcast. Yeah. Usually do a sign off. I'm not going to do one this week. What I do want to say though is go vote. Go vote, go vote, go vote. It does matter. Voting matters, right? But to me, it doesn't matter who you vote for. Just go vote. I'm gonna love you anyways. Nice. Yeah. It's what, in a couple days? It's coming up.
Saturday is when it opens.
Go vote, guys. Go vote. Go vote. Please go vote. Go vote. Go vote. I'm not going to say democracy in my hand, but go vote. Love you guys. Until next time.
We're going to name this podcast 2 Republicans, 1 Demi.
1 Democrat.
2 Republicans and a Democrat walk in a bar.
I'm going to title it I'm gonna title it Democrat smashes to Republicans.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Embarrassing.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Usual Tuesday podcast featuring our in-home Democrat Zero. We really love that guy around here. But as always, you guys stay healthy, stay happy. I love y'all. Keep smiling. We'll see you guys on the next one.
I'm cold. Listen, much love, everybody. These two are amazing individuals. Thank you for having this chat with me. Because I know it's all love at the end of the day. I mean, from this side of the aisle. No, but I know you guys love. I know you guys are all love too. But yeah, like these two individuals said, go vote. It doesn't matter who you vote for. I really don't care if you vote for Trump. I really don't care if you vote for Kamala. Just vote.
Just don't vote for Bernie. Just don't vote for Bernie.
Don't vote for that guy.
Hey, you leave Bernie out of this.
That guy. No, but vote for who you think is right. Be safe. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether it be a minute, an hour, the whole thing, or maybe you're on the playback. I appreciate you very much. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.
All right, boys.
All right, boys.
Get out there and vote on Saturday.
Go vote.
Peace and love. Peace.
Peace.